10 hidden gems on the East Coast you've never heard of. You think you know the East Coast? Think again. Beyond the big cities and famous beaches, this coastline hides some of the most cinematic small towns, wild islands, forgotten forests, and quiet coastal paths in the entire country. Today, we're uncovering 10 hidden East Coast gems you've probably never seen. But after this video, they'll be at the top of your travel list. Driftwood Beach, Jekyll Island, Georgia. If there's one place that feels like you're stepping into another world, it's Driftwood Beach on Jekyll Island. Stretching along the Atlantic shore, this entire coastline is filled with massive fallen oak trees, weathered, twisted, polished by decades of tides and storms. The result is a completely surreal landscape, like a natural sculpture garden carved by the sea. When you walk here at sunrise, you'll see huge skeletal branches arching over the sand while the first light glows behind them. It's quiet, haunting, and breathtaking all at once. Even better, it's rarely crowded. Most people rush to Florida's beaches, leaving this Georgian masterpiece almost untouched. Bring a camera. Footage of this location looks unreal, especially with warm golden tones and fog rolling in from the ocean. Assateague Island, Maryland and Virginia. What makes Assateague Island a true hidden gem isn't just its untouched beaches or windswept dunes. It's the wild horses that roam freely across the island. Yes, actual wild horses walking along the beach with the Atlantic Ocean behind them. Assateague feels like a place where time slows down. No resorts, no flashy attractions, just raw nature and unexpected wildlife. Visit early in the morning, and you might find horses grazing in the fog, their silhouettes rising out of the mist. It's one of the most cinematic places on the East Coast, perfect for calming nature sequences. But here's the secret. Most travelers go to Ocean City or Virginia Beach and never realize this magical island is just a short drive away. Newport Cliff Walk, Rhode Island. Newport is known for its famous Gilded Age mansions, but the real hidden gem is the Cliff Walk, a stunning coastal path that winds between dramatic ocean cliffs and the extravagant historic estates overlooking the sea. The contrast is incredible. On one side, roaring waves crash into the rocks. On the other, ornate mansions once owned by families like Vanderbilt and Astor shine in the sunlight. Sections of the trail are rugged and wild. Others are paved and peaceful. Few people walk the entire length, which means you'll find quiet pockets where you can capture cinematic wide-angle views of the shoreline. At sunrise, the cliffs glow pink and gold, ideal for emotional, atmospheric visuals. Burlington, Vermont's lakeside gem. Burlington is one of those places that makes you instantly slow down. The city sits on the eastern shore of Lake Champlain, with a waterfront that feels more like a serene national park than an urban area. Walk along the lakeside path at sunset, and you'll see the Adirondack Mountains turning purple in the distance while sailboats drift across the water. Most people come here for fall colors, but Burlington is beautiful year-round, green and calm in summer, atmospheric and snowy in winter. Wander into town and you find historic buildings, artisan markets, and farm-to-table cafes filled with local flavors. It's a small city, but it has a cinematic charm that fits perfectly into any East Coast travel story. St. Augustine, Florida's timeless old city. St. Augustine is widely known as America's oldest city, but most travelers only visit the busy tourist streets. The real hidden gems lie just outside the main paths. Explore the narrow alleys of the historic district early in the morning, before the crowds arrive, and you'll feel like you've stepped into a European coastal village. Cobblestone streets, old stone walls, gas lanterns, and lush palm trees create a beautiful mix of Spanish colonial architecture and tropical scenery. Then walk to the quieter side of the waterfront, where old cannons and fort walls overlook calm blue water. These less visited corners of St. Augustine provide some of the most atmospheric scenes in Florida, a completely different tone compared to Miami or Orlando. Shenandoah National Park's hidden overlooks, Virginia. Shenandoah is famous for Skyline Drive, but the secret lies in the lesser-known overlooks scattered along the route. These hidden viewpoints often require short hikes, but the reward is incredible. Rolling blue mountains stretching endlessly across the horizon. Fog drifts through the valleys in the early morning, creating a layered blue-gray tapestry that's almost meditative. In autumn, the mountains burst into brilliant shades of red, orange, and gold, one of the most dramatic fall displays in the U.S. Because most people stick to the main viewpoints, you can find peaceful, solitary moments here, perfect for slow cinematic pans, drone-style pulls, or landscape-focused AI shots. Block Island, Rhode Island's quiet escape. Just an hour from the mainland lies Block Island, a place that feels like a softer, calmer version of popular destinations like Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket, without the crowds. The island is filled with dramatic bluffs, quiet beaches, and old-fashioned lighthouses perched above the ocean. Mopeds roll slowly through winding country roads lined with stone walls and open fields. Visit Mohegan Bluffs for one of the most breathtaking views on the East Coast, towering cliffs dropping into turquoise water that looks almost Caribbean on a sunny day. It's peaceful, romantic, and perfect for creating a dreamy summer atmosphere in your video. The Smoky Quartz Lake, New Hampshire's secret mountain water. Hidden deep in the White Mountains is a small alpine lake locals call Smoky Quartz Lake because of its crystal-clear water that glows with a smoky, glassy reflection on cloudy days. It's not marked on major travel maps, and getting here requires a moderate hike, but once you arrive, the silence feels almost sacred. Massive granite boulders surround the shoreline, and pine trees reflect off the mirrored water like a watercolor painting. This is the type of secret spot that defines the East Coast's underrated beauty. Quiet, untouched, and cinematic. AI scenes here look incredible with soft morning light and mist on the surface. Cape Charles, Virginia's forgotten beach town. Cape Charles is one of the most charming small beach towns on the East Coast, yet most people have never heard of it. While the Outer Banks and Myrtle Beach get millions of visitors, Cape Charles remains a peaceful escape with calm, shallow water and stunning sunsets. Colorful historic homes line the streets, and the waterfront boardwalk looks straight across the Chesapeake Bay toward glowing orange skies. It feels like a mixture of small-town southern charm and coastal relaxation. Sit on the public pier at dusk, and you'll understand why so many travelers call Cape Charles one of the East Coast's best-kept secrets. From wild horses on deserted beaches to mountain lakes hidden between granite peaks, the East Coast is full of places that go far beyond the typical tourist trail. If you want cinematic landscapes, peaceful coastal towns, and unforgettable nature moments, these 10 hidden gems are just the beginning. If you enjoyed this journey, make sure to subscribe, because next week we continue exploring the world's most beautiful destinations, one hidden gem at a time.